The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine, brought to you by Gillette, the official razor of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Monday, September the 8th. We are officially now moving into week 2. I guess the Cowboys are moving into week 2. NFL still on week 1. There's a game tonight. But Cowboys and Giants coming up. We'll talk still Cowboys Eagles if you didn't get a chance to call in on Friday. If you want to talk about the Lions and the Packer game, go ahead. We'll do this for a little bit. I understand. I'm not in the move on. He's not on the team phase just yet. We're getting there. But yeah, if you want to talk about any of that, former Cowboys, current Cowboys, let's do it. 888-855-2297. Let's start in Cocoa Beach, Florida. We got Robbie. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, Nick? How's your day, man?
Good. All good.
I agree. I didn't call in Friday because I was kind of pissed off about the game. I thought we had it.
Good.
And then I kind of thought about it over the weekend, and I was like, we just went up with the champs, man, and no Micah Parsons, and our defense was sloppy in the beginning, but damn, we played a hell of a game. So,
yeah.
That homer in me comes out again because we did play really well. And, yeah, we missed a couple passes, a couple drops. Missed Ferguson in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
Missed CD a couple times. It is what it is, though. But, man, I thought we looked solid. Our O-line looked better than I expected. I mean, think about what we were saying 3 months ago about Tyler Guyton. We were like, oh, God, we don't know. What's he going to do? What are we going to do with left tackle?
Right. What's
going on with Steele? What's Booker going to be? They all looked impressive.
Yep. I mean,
so changed my mind. My glass is half full again.
Well, it should be. I mean, I think there is some positive things to look at, obviously. And the fact that the most positive thing that I heard you say was nothing about that rant in the last 10 seconds. It was when you said you were pissed off on Friday because you had them. That, to me, and that's what I wrote in my column. You know what? This one hurts, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing because you could have won this game, and you should have won this game. That, to me, is higher expectations than I think a lot of people had going into Philly week 1. So
I had 15 points with a friend of mine for $20. Just a little gentleman's stupid bet that we do every time. And I thought I was going to lose, if you want the truth, man.
Yeah. Well.
So when it was at the end and it was down by 4, I was like, oh, we should have won this game.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I'll take
Robbie.
some other calls, Nick. Great
Appreciate
to see you. Bye.
Thank you. When you look at the schedule, and just week 1, just look at everything that you've seen. You don't know a whole lot about week 1 because things can change. Hell, things can change in the middle of a game as I'm watching Baltimore and Bills highlights. But looking at the schedule, being really honest about it, is there anything tougher on paper than what the Cowboys have already faced? I mean, they faced at Philly on the road, first game of the season. Ceremony, raise the banner, all that stuff. First game of the year at Philly. After that, does any other game? I mean, Packers at home. Packers look pretty damn good. Let's not going to lie about that. But we haven't seen them on the road just yet. Of course, not that they lose at AT&T Stadium, but so that, anyways, that's debatable there on Sunday Night Football. But all these other games that you were like, all these tough games at the Lions. I mean, okay, Chiefs on Thanksgiving, both those teams lost. I think they're going to be fine. But at Denver, at the Jets, at the Bears, Chargers at home. I mean, at Washington. I mean, nothing looks tougher than what you just faced. Not to say that you won't, see the Cowboys lose at home to somebody that they shouldn't. That happens every year. But I'm just going off of one game, and it's only 1 week into the season and all that. But you're looking at the schedule. I don't think you think as badly about anything, knowing how they played that game and all that. But none of that matters if you don't go out and beat the Giants. So let's just kind of squash that right there. All right, Chuck D, Bridge City, Texas. What's up, man?
Nick, what's up, man?
How are you?
Good. I didn't get the call last week. I tried to on
Okay.
the day after the game, but I think they played great. I was excited to see fire in them. I feel like they were pumped up. I would like to see. I know you got to target your best player, CD, but I would have liked to seen some targets kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Granted, if he would have made those catches, I'd be saying something else. But
Sure. Yeah. Well.
but this year kind of reminds me of, I remember in 2014 they'd just gotten off going 8-8. I think 3 years in a row. All of a sudden they just surprised us all and had that awesome year. And I think we could see something like that happen this year. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that, like that could happen. You see that in 2014. Saw it in, was it 21? I guess when they lost to the Bucks and then won 5 or 6 in a row. But you have to win the games. I mean, it's easier to say that now. Let's let a couple of these games pile up. I mean, at the Giants, it's a division game. We'll see what happens at the Bears and then the Packers. So stacking some wins together is not going to be easy. It's just that we'll see how they perform here. But I think all what you're saying is that it looks promising. Even in defeat, it looked promising based off our expectations, which maybe our expectations need to be raised a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, pretty much.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. I'll talk about Pickens as well. That's how it goes. What one game this? What about Pickens? And then Pickens will get some more targets next week. I mean, that's how this thing goes. And then he'll have a big game, and then maybe Turpin will have one touch. And what about Turpin? I mean, there'll be a time where Ferguson hasn't got a target and didn't get many balls thrown his way in the game, and then we'll be on here. So that's probably a good thing as well if you're winning. If you're not winning, then you could make the case that yes, it wasn't enough for Pickens, it wasn't enough for whoever, but I think we all know what happened in the game. I mean, they didn't over target CD. I mean, that ball was in his hands 4 times, and he didn't catch it. And he had, I think, 7 catches on 13 targets. I'm not sure about some of the others, but I know there were 4 for sure that were there. One of those was the last one deep ball. You can say that was, I don't call it a drop, but it was a catchable pass for a guy diving forward and on 4th down with the game on the line. It's catchable. I thought Dak put it there, and he put it there on some other plays as well. And I think we've all seen some of the footage on CD here at the Jugs machine. We saw him on Friday out here. There wasn't anyone here, no players on the field. He was out here on the Jugs machine. That's what you want, right? I mean, that's all you can ask for. Guy, that's not his, MO. We know that. One thing that's not getting mentioned here, and again, I'm not trying to throw out excuses, but it was funny how this never gets brought up, but those drops were mostly in the second half, or all of them actually were in the second half. Maybe there was one early on in the game in the second quarter, but for the most part, those drops in the second half. And after the delay, and the delay, of course, is a weather delay, and so I didn't see a lot of other people dropping passes, but I didn't see a lot of other people catching the ball either. I mean, like, who else was catching the football out there? So that might be something to do with it. It's not like the Eagles guys were catching everything in the second half. I mean, the whole offense kind of shut down. It hasn't really been talked about. Obviously, the field was wet. I mean, the ball's wet. But it would be one thing if other people were making plays, but really the whole offense kind of went down. So with that, and knowing what CD is and the type of player and that he's been, I don't think this is something to be really worried about moving forward. All right, let's go to Jeremy. He's in D.C. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, yo, Nick.
How are you?
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good, bud.
You been staying out of trouble, man?
Working on that. Yeah.
Nah, all right, man. You ain't hurt nobody, did you?
No.
All right, man.
How about you? You hurt anybody?
Oh, nah, man. I've been busy, man. Been busy.
All right.
So, like, most of the time when you on, I be at work. So I be trying to call in between while I'm doing, like, my jobs or whatever.
Well,
but most of the time when I get off.
You off day today? Off day?
Yeah, I'm off on Mondays.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, let's hear from you.
Yeah.
What'd you think, man? What'd you think of the game? What you think moving forward?
So I think, man, the CD Lamborghini, he going to bounce back. We don't have to worry about that. That's going to be a one-off, so everybody just calm down. The CD Lamborghini is going to be okay.
Just needed an oil change.
Yeah, he needed oil change. You know what I'm saying? Got to check the brake calibers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
right.
I was watching the game again, and I was noticing, like, when the defensive tackles was doing those twist stunts, a lot of the times when they was doing them, they was either knocking themselves out of the play or knocking the defensive ends out of the play. Is that something like where the person that's twisting is doing something wrong, or is it the defensive end that's doing something wrong? Because I was noticing that a lot, in that game right there.
Looked like it was their first game together, and that is one of those things where I can see an advantage to let these guys play some in preseason. That part right there, I don't know if it's worth the risk of an injury, but it is going out there and playing where it's not practice. And actually, okay, when I go here and rush here and the guys running, into each other in the same lanes and all that. But it felt like it got better in the second half. The defense kind of both sides, defense played way better in the second half. So, I don't. Again, that's one of those things. Just like the drops. I mean, it's one of those things I don't believe will be a big problem moving forward. I thought the defense started to play better. They had to trick it up. It wasn't working in the first half, and we started to see some different things, some different blitz packages, because they were not getting home.
Yeah, and a play something else that I noticed on the offensive side before Lamborghini started dropping them, it was the run play with I'm not sure if it was the defensive end or the defensive tackle. He split right between Steele and Booker. It looked like they didn't know, who was supposed to pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that was a little communication problem, too. And I feel like if that play right there would have held up something, they probably would have got a good 5, maybe 6 yards out of that run play right there. And it would have been a different situation on third down.
Yeah.
But, I ain't really had much, Nick, man. I just wanted to check in with you. I know it's been a while, man.
All right, cool.
And you try not to hurt nobody.
All right, no, I won't hurt you. I can't hurt anybody. All right, thanks, man. Thanks for the call.
Man.
What, say it again?
I said you had on that nice suit, too, man. I see you out there looking casket shop.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a good one, brother.
Yeah. That jacket almost got me in a fight, though, on the elevator on the way back. But that's for another story. I don't remember that play he was talking about with the run and those two guys not picking it up. It feels like it's Thursday night. I mean, it feels like that was several days ago. So I didn't even go back and watch it like I normally do. It's been kind of a crazy weekend. I just said, I just kind of left it at that. I probably will check some of the plays as well. But, and probably find moments like that and go, man, I mean, I at the time I remember thinking they should have won this game, but I'll probably go back and watch it and it'll be really clear that, hey, it was there for the taking. So, Part of that is good because it's like, you faced a good football team and you had a chance to win on the road. But the other part is that you didn't win. You didn't do those things. And we've seen that before, them finding ways to lose games. So if that's a trend, then obviously that's not going to be fine. If you're going to play to the level of your competition too, that you'll be sitting there at 8-8, 8-9, whatever that is. So we've seen them play up there and play the Eagles on the road. Let's not be the team that also struggles with the Giants at home and struggles with the Panthers and Jets and stuff like that. So we'll see. It's still early. We're still trying to figure out what this team is. James in New Jersey.
How you doing, Nick?
Hey, man.
A couple of statements and a question. the linebackers look a little slow, especially going downhill. Number 59, he kind of was waiting for something to happen. It was like he was waiting before he went downhill and get into those gaps against the run. And plus, also in the flat, there's always somebody missing in the flat. I don't know what that's about. As far as the linebacker, I mean, the defensive ends are concerned, it seemed like they were all trying to play hero ball, trying to make it for Micah, going inside instead of outside, trying to keep that kid in the pocket, keep him in there, and so he wouldn't, run all over the place like he's playing yard ball. But my main question is, I was looking at Cleveland to lose because I'm hoping they lose about maybe the first 6 games, and since the trade deadline is on November 4th, whether we would consider trading for Myles Garrett for a couple of those picks and maybe discuss if, with him can be negotiate his contract to at least keep that as cap friendly as possible, So I was wondering, whether that would be a possibility, even looking to get Myles Garrett for a couple of picks.
Okay. All right, James, we appreciate the call. You guys kind of know, I mean, when it comes to players on other teams, not something that I can really discuss here. Now, I can talk about trades and just what they could use those picks for and what they would need. I still think a lot of times what the trade deadline is it's not just to see who's out there, but it's also for people to realize kind of what they've got, what they have, what they need, what their season's going to look like. Are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? Are they going to just be do nothing at all? So it's still early a little bit to kind of see that. I'm not calling Donovan Ezeraku the next D. Ware. Would never do that. My point is that D. Ware, Hall of Fame pass rusher, midway through his rookie year, was not working out. It was not what they thought. They weren't getting exactly what they thought. It wasn't until late in the season he had 3 sacks in Carolina, took over that game. They won that one. He finished with 8. I think he had 4 for most of the season until that last 2 games of the season. And then his career kind of took off. So my point is that it's going to take a little bit to see some of these pass rushers, especially as Ezeraku, to say, hey, he's got something here. Because he looks a little light. He's playing light. He's going to have to use that to his advantage, and he'll figure it out. As for the linebackers looking slow, again, I hate to keep saying it's one game, but it's one game against a dynamic offense that is very tough to prepare for because you can't. They just have so many weapons, and you're always looking slow. Micah looked slow. Micah never played well really against the Eagles. I mean, he might have had a sack or two, but he didn't play his best football. He didn't ever wreck games against the Eagles. They make it very, very challenging for those linebackers because you got to keep your eyes on the quarterback. You got to keep your eye on the tight end. He caught 7 passes in the game, and just over the middle. Of course, Barkley's Barkley. So there's a lot there, and I don't think playing the Eagles is what's going to put any linebacker in the Pro Bowl. I just think it's always a challenge. I'm not trying to give people pass. I'm just saying it's one game. Let's see what happens. I think the linebackers play well in Eberflus's scheme, and I think the linebackers will be fine. Let's go to Alan, Clearwater, Florida.
Hey, good morning, Nick.
How are you, man?
I'd be feeling a lot better if they won the game last week.
Yeah, fair.
So I was trying to get through last week, and I listen every day. It's very hard for me. I'm going to try to run through a bunch of points that I'd love to hear your input on, whichever you choose to respond to. This is the only place I can talk about it, but, all the positives, yada, yada. Yeah, great. Yeah, I agree. Great stuff, especially the secondary. A lot of good stuff. But I left that game so disgusted. I haven't felt that disgusted about a Cowboy loss in ages. And I just want to tell you why I feel that way and see if you understand these points that I'm going to make. The first one is, it was a huge game. It was the first game of the season. It's one game. We had a chance to take it from Philly and start the season right. And once again, we found a way to lose a game, in big moments, our guys didn't come through. It's always somebody different. It's a penalty here. It's a drop ball. At the end of the day, we have become one of those teams that just doesn't get it done in big moments. Change coaching, change personnel, change scheme. That's the same thing. So that's the number one takeaway is we find ways to lose games. And that is just, it's a whole bunch of combination of things. But point by point, what I was really disappointed in was, number one, when Jalen Hurts was running on us in the second quarter, did you not prepare for Jalen Hurts running the ball? You did a great job here and there. How were you not prepared to take that out of the game? So that was the first problem. But on the offensive side of the ball, I was so disappointed in two major things. One, I was waiting for this dynamic offense. And if what they were hiding during preseason by playing vanilla was all our formation changes, I would have rather they play our starters, because we still only got the ball to Turpin 3 times. We ran the ball great. Yes, there was, to me, watching as a fan, I was waiting for something more dynamic, more innovative, creative, and maybe that'll happen moving on in the season. But in that game, kept waiting for Turpin, especially to get more touches, didn't happen. But my real problem is I love Dak Prescott as a person, as a player, heart, skill. He's got enough, but he continues, in my opinion, to make poor decisions in key moments. And what nobody is talking about is on the fourth, I think it was 4th and 2, where there was a minute and a half left on the clock. You got to tell me there's somebody underneath. You have to have a couple of options underneath to go with the ball to keep a first down. It's a high percentage throw, a low percentage throw when you throw it, even though it's the CD. You got to make a different choice. And the second thing that I think he did throughout that game is on the tight end. When he was trying to hit Ferguson or the other guy, the way I remember it, they were double covered, every time. So again, in my mind, he's forcing the ball to a receiver. If there's 2 guys on Ferguson, because he got popped a number of times, there's got to be somebody else that's open. And that is still a key problem that I have. If we look at his history with the Cowboys, he's won some games on the last drive, but I think there's a lot more where he could have won the games where he just didn't get the ball out fast enough. He took a sack. Right. He didn't hit the right guy, something. So my keys, and I'd love if you'd like to respond to any of them, I'd appreciate your thoughts. That's where I'm coming from today.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for the call. There's a lot there. They do, finding ways to lose games. I mean, that is something that happens when you lose games. I mean, they lost 10 last year, so and some of them were close. And when you lose a close game, that's what you say. They find a way to lose a close game. And this team over the last 3 or 4 years has won a lot more games, so they find ways to win games. So that's why I'm like, what are you saying on this team? Is it this year? Is it last 2 years? Is it the last 4 years? Because they've won a lot more games than they've lost. So I don't know if I'm just going to say that. I just think when there's a close game and you didn't win, you could have. And when there's a close game and you won, you could have lost and you didn't. So that's the way I just take that. It's very basic, but so I wouldn't call anything a trend just yet. Offensively, it did look good in the first half. There's no doubt, but then in the second half, they kind of shut down. The Eagles, shut down. Both teams played a lot better on defense, but I like the play calling style from Shoddy on being aggressive, throwing the ball down the field. When we've looked at that, they played for field goals. I thought they were a lot more aggressive there. So I'm anxious to see more of that. And congratulations, Allen. I mean, you're the first person that I've heard that really criticized Dak after that game. I thought Dak played a great game. Now, Dak isn't, he's had moments, good moments, bad, whatever, but I don't fault really him for anything that I saw in that game. It wasn't like there was a ton of time. He didn't get sacked, though. He got the ball out quick. This whole, like, there could have been someone else. Well, maybe, but, they're looking for man-to-man coverage and for his best player, and he still has confidence in CeeDee Lamb, and it's fourth down, and he threw it. I mean, no one. I mean, I've heard the same thing. Dez caught it play in Green Bay. Well, I mean, that was fourth down too, and he went up one-on-one with Dez. I mean, he had Beasley over the middle. Maybe he should have done that. But these guys that's the way they're wired to find the ball to their best guy, and he put it exactly where it needs to be. So I don't have fault really with Dak for that game. I thought Dak played a really good football game, and they came up short. But the one thing that Dak doesn't have, he's not like Hurts in that running element there. And I wouldn't say the Cowboys weren't prepared for it. I would say that you could put a spy on him. There are guys that were there to watch him. Doesn't mean you're going to make the tackle. That teams keyed on Barry Sanders for a long time. They keyed on Emmitt Smith for a long time. He still made plays. Sometimes you can just get out athleted, and that's the thing. That's what makes Jalen Hurts a really, really good player, is because he is built like Saquon Barkley, and he's throwing the ball a lot better than him. And so it's a tough matchup, especially when you have Barkley also next to you. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Nominate someone you know to be the 2025 Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan. You can win a chance to go to Super Bowl 60. Enter to win at NFL.com/Fan of the Year. All right, back to the Cowboys Storyline here. Last caller kind of took up some time there, so let's try to make this as quick as possible. I understand people have points to make and all that. Let's try to go pretty quickly if we can. Davian in Illinois is next. He's been holding. So Davian, what's up, man?
What's going on, big dog?
How are you doing,
what's
man?
happening? I'm doing well, man. I heard the tail end of that call, and I got lucky this ain't the Twitter space, so we'll have some going back and forth pretty good. Because I don't know how anybody can criticize Dak after that game, man. That's crazy.
I feel like Allen needs to go to the Twitter Spaces, because he said, I don't have anybody to talk to like that. That's why you need to go. You need to get on the community at Twitter and get in there and talk. You guys do it at least once a week, right?
Yeah, we do it Thursdays at 8 o'clock Central.
Okay.
I mean 7 o'clock Central.
Okay.
7 o'clock Central. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I think I think this week is going to be a good week for us. I think I saw a stat that we were the top 5 of pressure rate, and I saw the Giants O-line looking pretty suspect. So I think it's about that time for us to eat, get some sacks this week. Just in case I don't get a call in later on in the week, I think my score prediction will be 27-10 Cowboys. I think we're gonna do pretty well. I know Dak's gonna come out ready to go. CD gonna probably get another 100. And I think Pickens probably get 100 too.
Much different game, just to make sure I heard you right. 27-10 or 20-17?
27-10.
Got it. Okay. I'll take I'll take either one right now.
Either one. I just want a dub either way, but I think we own the Giants pretty much. So I think we should be able to do pretty well against them. It should be pretty. I mean, it's gonna be any game is tough, but we do pretty well against the Giants, no matter what.
We do. Usually you see Dak play well there, and it's a big game. I'll talk about that when you're off the air. You got any other questions?
No, I know you want to be quick because of the last guy, but like I said, if the guy want to come on the Twitter Spaces and get with us, you know, we got the captain and all the captains be on. So if you want to bring that Dak take over there,
all right,
we really get popping.
All right, cool. All right, Davion, thanks for the call. And again, let me clarify here. I love people call in and throw in their opinions. I got no issues really with anything that any of the callers said, especially, I'm keep going back to Allen. That was a little wordy, and I just didn't agree with the Dak part. But that, like I say all the time, your opinion is undefeated. So that's fine. And I think that what a lot of people do is they take this game and kind of say, well, and just put it in with the big picture. I like to take this game for what it is. There's been other moments where we haven't seen the Cowboys win, and sometimes it's been Dak didn't make the throw and all that. This particular game, I thought he played well. I thought he played well enough to win the game. He had the ball in the final 3 minutes to go, and all he can do is put it where he put it. And maybe his decision. I have to go back and watch that play. I don't really know what was there, but my point is I don't want to discourage anybody for calling and giving their opinions. All right, Chris in Saratoga Springs, New York is next.
Hey Nick, how are you?
Good. What's up with you?
Not too much. I don't know what game Allen was watching, but that's not the game that I was watching. I think Dak played outstanding. That's one of the better games I thought he played. I agree with you 100%. I mean, if CD catches one of those balls, different story. If Miles Sanders doesn't put the ball on the ground, another different scenario. Like what Dak missed, maybe overthrew or underthrew Ferguson one time. He had one or two off throws maybe in the whole game, but I think Dak played one of his better games. It's just one of those games. It comes down to one or two things, and look at that Buffalo game last night. If the running back for Baltimore doesn't fumble the ball, Buffalo loses that game. Comes down to one or two plays in a game that change the outcome of these games, and it 100% wasn't on Dak. Again, I thought that I'm very critical on Dak, but that game he played, that's one of the better games I've seen him play. So, Alan, good opinion, but I think you're wrong on that one.
Yeah.
The one question I have, rewatching the game, one throw to CD when he dropped that one pass, the other wide receiver was literally right next to him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was the wrong pattern or who ran the wrong pattern or if they were both running goes. It was Tolbert. It looked like it was going to Tolbert, then CD comes and tries to make the play. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or it was a wrong pattern run. I just don't like having multiple corners around the ball at the same time. What were your thoughts on that one?
Exactly. It looked like the earliest Hail Mary I've ever seen. Because you're right. I mean, two receivers running in the same spot usually means three defensive backs in the same spot, and that's kind of what it was. So I don't know exactly who was running the wrong route there or how it got to that point, but I feel like I've seen that more often than we should. I think last year we saw it a little bit too. So I'd be wrong, but to say that somebody ran the wrong route or cut it back that way, I'm not really sure. But you're right, because there was a guy guarding CD, and I think the guy he was really looking at was the safety coming over the middle, because I think on that particular play, he was already thinking catch the ball and then what kind of move across the middle of the field. I mean, that could have been a really big play, not just catching it, but if he can make one guy miss in the open, I think he's trying to cut it across the field, and then who knows what happens after that. So obviously didn't happen, but you're right that there's something off about the way that play looked.
Right. As far as the upcoming game, I got Dallas winning 28-10.
Okay. All right.
And that's all I got. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
A theme here. Thanks, Chris, for the call. Let's go to Lester in Minnesota. Lester, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing out there, man?
Good. You?
I'm doing good. To the guy, I think his name was Allen, that called in, all I've got to say to him, it was a primetime game, and you got to just follow the money. So who's ever getting the good money, they're going to be featured on the primetime game. For the most part, they're going to force the ball. So just, Allen, calm down. Just follow the money. He threw it to Ferguson off, and then he threw it to CD a lot. And I know Pickens had to be open a little bit. So, Allen, calm down, follow the money. But that's not the point I wanted to make. I think overall they played a good game. I was pretty much impressed. I liked it. As far as the spying, the quarterback, I don't know who it looked like they were using Clark. If they were Clark, he doesn't have enough agility to do it. He got enough speed, but he doesn't have enough agility. In future, just my opinion, I think until Overshown gets back, if they want to spy, I think they should use number 35 or Murray. Okay, and then I got a message for Jesse Holley. He was on the other day talking about CD is the man. He came up to the mic, said he's the man. I'm not saying he's not the man, but for that game, he dropped too many passes to be that man for that game. So get me right. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that game he dropped too many passes, Jesse. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call. And the thing about it is when a guy comes out and says, I have to catch the football. I'm the reason, we didn't win that game. Put it on me. What else can you say? I mean, what else can you say other than, all right, goes out the very next day? I mean, we all got in about 5:00 in the morning. So, I mean, he's out here catching passes at the jugs machine with no one else there. So, and he didn't put that on social media. It got put on social media. He's not doing that for cameras. He's doing that because he's trying to get better, and he understands that he's got to catch the football. So, I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that he's got to catch it, starting with CD, Jesse Holley, whatever you're trying to say. Like, yeah, everybody knows he's the man, but he's got to make those plays. I don't think his quarterback has lost any faith in him as well. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll come back and we can finish the show.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
This segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops concession and on Yeti.com. All right, we've got time for a few more calls here on this Monday show. Ronnie is in New Jersey. Ronnie, what's up?
Nick, happy Monday.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. Hope everything's good over there.
Yeah, good.
It's been a while. I haven't been able to get through. I've been dying to call. But, no, I just wanted to say I think it was a good game. I was actually pleasantly surprised. They played pretty well.
Yeah.
Everybody was expecting the defense to suck after Micah left, but I don't know. I guess they thought he was like, I never saw him as that world beater. I liked him. He couldn't stop the run. So I think we got a good deal. I wish we would have gotten a second or third round pick, but it is what it is. Everything's done. He moved on. We moved on. And I think this team's going to be pretty good after watching that game.
Yeah.
If they continue to get better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
always a
basically
key.
what I wanted to say. And I wanted to say one more thing, Nick. Thank you for my Yeti. I use it every day. It actually works. It keeps my beverage cold throughout the entire day. So thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Well, you're welcome. And you know this segment is sponsored by Yeti, so I appreciate you calling and doing that. It keeps it cold or it keeps it hot, depending on what you want to put in there. Good stuff. All right.
Perfect. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Ronnie. A member of the All StoryLine team 2 years in a row, so he's got a T-shirt and a Yeti. So and I understand that it's harder and harder for guys to call in. So we take everything into consideration when we're making those selections. I say we, it's really me, but I let Chris kind of chime in and help on what he thinks. All right, let's keep it going here. We got Lewis, Langston, Oklahoma.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Not bad. You know, like you said, I've been trying to get in, so I'd say my little piece, man. I was impressed with Shoddy's system the other day. I was a little hesitant about the defense, but I feel like, I don't know if it was the halftime or the rain delay, but I feel like it helped Eberflus defense out. And I'm not gonna harp on the Michael Parsons thing because I feel like defense did their job as far as pressures. Now, I would like to see a couple more sacks here and there. So hopefully we can generate that in the next couple of games and see how that goes. And I was reading some stats on there. They said Dallas had, I think, the second most pressure rate. So that means, the back end was holding up as much. And I don't know if that was because they were playing a lot of zone and not man to try to help with the stop the Eagles and whatnot. But we'll see how they continue. I was reading some stuff that Eberflus likes to play a lot of zone. So hopefully that helps and we can get us some cover sacks. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm a little more optimistic than I was when the season started. I wasn't horrible, but I'm a lot more optimistic now after actually getting to see him play. But I ain't gonna hold you too much. I'll get in when I can, and keep listening.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that. The pressure was there. I think they had to dial it up there in the second half. I haven't seen – I could be wrong. I haven't seen Trayvon Diggs on a blitz before that I can remember. And I certainly haven't seen two cornerback blitzes, on back-to-back plays with Deron Bland also coming in. So you could tell that Eberflus had to, dig into the bag a little bit more than you would want. What you would love to see is just the guys you have out there, Ezeraku, Sam Williams, Nealon, Fowler, just get there. But it doesn't always work that way. On the back end, though, I think when you look at the corners, everybody has three corners that they're going to play because you play a lot of nickel. So, you really have to have three, and then your two safeties. I think when you look at those five players from 1 to 5, Diggs and Bland and Elam at corner with Hooker and Donovan Wilson, that's probably as good of a 1 to 5 combination of secondary players that you're going to have. Most teams would probably like to have that. Really. So I think it's going to be key to get the pass rush where you want it, because if they can do that, they can start figuring that out and not have to take pass rush from the secondary like they did with Diggs and Bland. But you can generate some pass rush there with those 5 guys. If they can stay healthy, I think that's a pretty talented secondary. So, something to look at. We'll see what happens this week. They're going to face an offensive line and a quarterback, not in the same level as what we had with what we saw with Philadelphia. All right, let's go to Jeremy in Salt Lake. Jeremy, you with us?
I am here.
How you
What's
doing?
Up? I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Great.
So I'm kind of cooled down after Thursday. I was running pretty hot after the game because I thought we had it, but especially with that rain delay. But one of the things I want to point out that not a lot of people are talking about is, man, I saw some holds that were pretty. There's one, I think it was on the second Eagles touchdown drive, and it was 3rd and long, and we had Hurts, and he leaked out to the left, and Ezeraku got held horribly by. And if he doesn't get held there, they're off the field, right?
Yeah.
And I think you pointed out on your 5 plays.
It was a key play.
The next play, the next key play where he ran for that
touchdown.
I don't know, 20-yard gain, something like that. But that should have never happened. And those are the kinds of things. I know, a lot of people don't like to complain about the refs, but I do. and that just really got me going because I felt like, our pass rush did get there at times, but I saw 3 blatant holds that just don't get called.
No, I hear you.
And I thought, and that's frustrating as a fan to watch. But knowing that, even with CD drops and all that, this team played good enough to win. And look at 2014, 2016. Losing that first game sometimes is good. Like you said, it hurts, but it's a good hurt because they know.
Yeah.
We knew it was capable of, but I'll get off.
All right.
Thanks a lot for all you guys do, man.
Thank you for the call. I think you make some really good points, and I've said this so many times, and I know it's a broken record to you guys that have heard me over the years, but I really believe it. So I'll throw it out there again. When the schedule comes out, I always look at week 2. I think week 2 is the most important game especially of the first half of the season. And especially when you look at Philadelphia on the road, it's going to be hard to get that win. I think we knew that from the very, very start when the schedule comes out. So, all right, if you don't get that win, you want to show out, you want to play well. If you don't get that win, okay, but you better come back in week 2 and win, regardless of where it is. So Giants, when that came out, I scheduled that. I mean, we put gut feelings. We did a video of that. What game are you looking to? Week 2, Giants. Because even if you lose to Philly, you better come back and win. Now, if you beat Philly, you better win. You don't want to be 1-1, 2-2, and all that stuff. You want to start stacking wins. So regardless, you want to show that week 1 is not necessarily going to set the tone of the season, and you come back here and get this win. So I think it's very, very important that the Cowboys can bounce back, get a win. You certainly don't want to be 0-2 and 0-2 in the division. So it looks like a very winnable game. But still, it's a division game, and they got good pass rushers and a good defensive line, so they're going to have to figure it out. And if CD and Pickens are on point and making plays, I think it could be a good, fun game for the Cowboys there. But another point, and I've heard this for years. I think we're going to see Ezeraku a lot of times where people are going to say he looks like he's getting held. And then one of the reasons is for that, and I've heard different coaches and scouts say when you're undersized, they get your hands on you, it's not necessarily going to be holding. They're not going to call that. It looks like that, he's got you pretty good because you don't have enough of that upper body strength to kind of get away from it. That's a problem that he's going to have to figure out. I think it was questionable. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, he's getting held. But then when I saw it again closer, I was like, I don't know. You could probably call that every play, and they don't. So that's something he's going to have to really figure out, is that he's going to have a mismatch. If the guy gets his hands on him, he's not going to win a lot. He's going to have to make sure that he uses his quickness to get around, bend, all that stuff to get around these guys and then get to the quarterback. He'll figure it out. I mean, I think he's a good young player, and I think he'll be fine, but that's something he's going to have to work on. He doesn't just have that brute strength right now. He might get there, but just that brute strength and not just push people back, get away from some of that. So he's going to have to be crafty and figure it out. But I think he will, and I'm excited, to see what the Cowboys have. Great show, guys. Appreciate that. I love the call. My favorite call, Allen in Clearwater, Florida. That's absolutely my favorite call. And I say that because when you make calls that other people are talking about, that's what this show is all about. Rob from Vegas didn't call today or didn't get in. He might have called, but he's been doing that for years. And that's what makes a good show is that we don't have to agree with opinions, but just do something to stir up some debate. And I appreciate that. So hope you guys can call back tomorrow. We'll do this thing again tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!